I think there's nothing more valuable or important to a person than his or her brand and how they interact with others. So people don't necessarily remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel. When I'm talking about David Nassau or hopping for a cure or some of my other involvement, it's promotion through the things that I do more or less than just me. Go, 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 go. One of my friends ran a half marathon and I looked at him and I said, if he can do it, I can do it. And so I went out with my friend Gary just to go for a quick run around the neighborhood. And before we knew it, we were like, all right, we went out for a quick run. But as we were running, it was a couple minutes later, we were like, wow, okay, let's walk for a little bit and let's run a little bit more. And then we started walking and running for quite a bit of time. And it felt like we were out there for hours. I started playing other sports, started playing volleyball. My dad was my tennis coach and he brought me out to play hours a day. After elementary school, we'd go to this park and we'd just play tennis. It'd be 2, 3+ hours. Once we went out to play some tennis and he just literally he was struggling hard, to put it simply. My dad was diagnosed at some point between when I was 8 to 10 years old, and when they decided to tell us, the mom and dad sat my brother and I down in our backyard, said, hey guys, we really need to have like a little family discussion, and they told us that my dad was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Once he was diagnosed with MS, he was still playing. It's not like he changed from one day to the next, and so I just didn't think twice about it. MS is like the but you look so good disease, people call it, because people look fine, they can be walking next to you, you don't even know they have anything. But meanwhile, my dad struggled more cognitively over the years. It started off with his eyes, he could see double vision, he would get numbness in his hands, in his extremities. So going all the way back to 2010, my friends and I were juniors in high school and we were obsessed with the TV show How I Met Your Mother, and we suited up based off of a joke from Neil Patrick Harris's character Barney Stinson, and on our way to school, instead of telling our friends that we suited up because of a TV show, we thought it'd be a lot funnier to tell people that we suited up because we were the first 2 official varsity hopscotchers. And people believed us for whatever reason, started asking us questions, who do you play, how do you play, what are the rules? And we started making up a whole bunch of things on the spot. I was a speed guy, he was the endurance guy. Before we knew it, we had a whole bunch of people want to try out and be a part of this fake hopscotch club. That evening, went back to my house, started designing these t-shirts to try to sell to all of our friends, make a whole bunch of money. And my mom comes in, sees the rules that we made up with, sees the t-shirts, the designs that we had, and she pulled us back in and said, well, let's talk about these rules in the game, and we decided to make it for charity. And because my dad was diagnosed with MS, we decided to make this a benefit for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society.
All right, welcome back. Well, many of us played hopscotch when we were kids. Listen, I did. But have you ever heard of a varsity hopscotch team?
Leaders of one organization have already started hopping for a cure.
And you may have played it for fun when you were a kid, but this afternoon, University of Florida students hopscotched for a more serious reason.
Fast forward 5 years, we are our own independent 501c3 nonprofit in the state, and we have a chapter here at the University of Florida. We have a chapter at Florida State University, a chapter in South Florida where it all began, and we're going to be starting a new chapter at the University of Central Florida in this upcoming year. What's next for David Nassau? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't know. At the end of the day, when the light goes off and you're sleeping and you're looking back, the real question you should ask yourself is, are you happy? And are you satisfied? Because right now when I go to sleep at night and I know that I have people with Hopping for a Cure that are going just as hard as I am, I feel happy and it gets me excited and thankful that I have a team that cares. Your life is your book and you have to write it and make it as interesting or boring as you want, but just make sure that you know it's your story and end it well.